V'hinei Chazal shem b'chinas einei ha'eda. Now our sages that are from the concept of the eyes of the congregation, mi'b'chinas einai chionim, from the concept of that your eyes are like doves, tiknu brachos she'over l'asiyas mitzvah. They establish the blessings that come before the mitzvah, before the doing of the mitzvah. V'ha'atam nisbar b'priyetz chaim. And the reason is explained in Priyetz Chaim, she'af l'tzorach halas mein nukvin tzorach lios tchila hamshachas mein dechurin, that even for the elevation of the feminine waters, you first have to have drawing down of the masculine waters, l'sayea uleorer, to help and to awaken, she'ihi alas mein nukvin, to have the arousal of the feminine waters. U'skinizker b'sidur al pasuk hakol kol Yaakov, and is brought in the siddur, and the Mamar, and the preface, that the voice is the voice of Yaakov. And that's the concept of the blessings upon the mitzvos. That the doing of the mitzvos themselves is a concept of the elevation of the feminine waters. That the esrog is purified and goes up in the concept of feminine waters, and it draws down afterwards the concept of the masculine waters. And the blessing is a concept of drawing down a light from above first, in order to give the ability for this. And that's why the blessing has to be before the mitzvah. And our sages, who are the eyes of the congregation, established this, because this drawing down is from the concept of the gazing of the eyes into the forehead of Arich. That from this gazing alone concept is enough to, that alone draws down this new mochin tezah nukva, that you should have this union and pairing in with the masculine waters and with the feminine waters and masculine waters. So this gazing is this preface that enables this union afterwards of the arousal and the drawing down. You can't have the union without first drawing down the brains. That a child whose brains are not complete yet cannot father, cannot give birth, cannot be a parent. And in order to draw this down, is this, so to speak, gazing of Zeranpin to Arich. That through this, Zah receives this light. So it's the concept, this Isserusas Le'elah before the Isserusas Le'sata is a concept of Histaklos and gazing. Because this concept of union of the feminine waters and the masculine waters, that it's compared to like a physical union, through the concept of Yisod, that concept is only compared as it is in the world of Atzilus alone. But above Atzilus, there the union is only in a way of gazing alone. It's in a higher level, so the gazing is a higher concept, and it's a concept of union through gazing. Because in such a high place, you can't draw down the flow from his essence truly, only a glimmer alone, which is the concept of gazing. Like it's brought in Eitz Chaim that you have this concept of Zeranpin gazing at the concept of Atik. You have a gazing of Atik towards Zeranpin, and through this gazing you cause the union of Zan Nukva, Gam Nisbar Yasham, It's also explained there that through the gazing of the Pnimis Avatik Nimshach Kuf Nun Horin Laza that draws down 150 lights towards Zeranpin. And through the gazing at the forehead, so to speak, which is I guess the chitzonis in comparison, you draw down 375 lights. So it's found at any rate that through this gazing you cause that you should have this union of Zan Nukva, and therefore the eyes of the congregation establish the blessing on the mitzvos to draw down this light of gazing that we mentioned. That afterwards you should have this union of Zan Nukva, that this is the doing of the mitzvah itself, that we are purifying the 288 sparks that are in the esrog and are going upwards in a concept of feminine waters, and are drawn afterwards the response of the masculine waters of Zer Anpin, because this concept of gazing is higher than this feminine waters of mind and masculine waters. That there it's higher than this concept of purifications. That the breaking of the vessels happened in the world of the dots of Nikudim. But the concept of that which is tied together, that's the world of Akudim is higher than Nikudim, and that's higher than the breaking. And that's where you draw this down, the ability to fix it. That's where this gazing comes from, that enables the union of the mind Nukvin and the Chorin to elevate the sparks. And it needs to be looked into the Beitz Chaim that it's explained in Eitz Chaim that the world of the Nikudim, that in it will happen this breaking, Nimshchu Meinaim Da'ak, is drawn from the eyes of Adam Kadmon, Va'akudim Nimshach Mepeh Da'ak, and the Akudim is drawn from the mouth of Adam Kadmon, V'tzayich Lomar. So I guess that implies that the eyes are higher than the mouth. So Nikudim would be drawn from a higher place than Akudim, so how can Akudim fix it? And we must say that his intention is on the gazing of the Metzach of Atik. So we're not just saying that it's coming from the eyes itself, but Nikudim is coming from the gazing or something. That it's not saying eyes, but it's saying gazing. It's not coming from the eyes itself, but it's coming from the gazing. But that also needs to be looked into. Because the gazing concept happens after the fixing. And it's fixed from the lights that come out of the forehead of Ak, so to speak. That forehead of the lights from the forehead of Ak, that's the new Ma. That's after the Shvira. That from what's been purified from the world of Nikudim. So that would seem to imply that the gazing at the Metzcha is not something that's in the Shoresh. So how could you apply it to Nikudim coming from the Einaim? That would seem to be before the Shvira. So how could you apply that concept that's after the Shvira of the Mahachadash that comes from mitzvah, the gazing at the mitzvah to what happens before the shvira, that the nikudim is nimshach from the inayim avak. Ve'efshar lomar the kavanaso adal kol panim mitzvah de'atika hu l'mayla mimayin nukvin umayin duchorin dezun. And we can say that the intention is that at any rate, the metzach of atik is beyond the mayin nukvin and mayin duchorin, the masculine and feminine waters of zun, dezun. Even if you want to say that nikudim is higher than akudim, nonetheless, the this that you draw down from metzach avatik is higher than the process of the masculine and feminine waters, regardless of the shorashim l'mayla. Hinami, or we could say yeshbeis nekudos shelo nishbaru, that there's two dots that were not broken, k'moshe kasav sham beitz chaim, like it says there in Eitz Chaim. Maybe those are the eyes. Or maybe when it talks about the nikudim coming from the higher place, maybe it's those two or something like that. But he doesn't clarify exactly his kavanah in the parish of the Eitz Chaim here. And this is what it says: let me pass over and see the land. And that is because Moshe is the concept of Yisod Abba, Ohr Hatorah, which is the source of Torah, V'shorsha, and its root Tlakach Nikra Torah al Shmo, and that's why the Torah is called upon his name, because of Zichru Torah Moshe, like it says, remember the Torah of Moshe. And until the highest heights of all the worlds, he's the concept of this Yisod of the Father, Yisod of Chachma. And therefore he wanted to give merit to Israel, that they should have the establishment they should be established in the land forever. And the Beis Hamikdash should never be destroyed through this concept of vision and gazing. Let me see the land. Let me gaze at the land. That the Aretz is the Malchus. She Knesset Yisrael, which is the souls of Israel. Shahaisa as Achor Ba'achor calls Man Meshach Dor HaMidbar, that was there in a concept of union of back to back the whole time of the generation of the Midbar, which is a chitzon. That Dor HaMidbar is a chitzonis dika parts of. Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom Ratzai Shiyach Zaros Panim Bepanim Al Yado Dafka, and Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to turn face to face through him specifically. Al Yidei Ve'aretz Haaretz, through let me see the land. I guess gazing face to face when you have the partsufim, so to speak, unite when they're not achor ba'achor but panim bepanim. So that's a gazing of face to face. That you should draw down to this concept of the gazing and seeing that we're talking about the gazing of mitzvah, tizah, and so forth. As haya zekium nitzchi, that then this would have an existence that's forever. This union. Nispar Chazal Einei Ha'eda. So we explained how Chazal are the eyes of the congregation. Tiknu birchas hamshachas mistaklus atik yamin bizah. That the blessings is the concept of a gazing of atik into ziran pin shali dezeh gorem zivug zon, that this causes the union of zon nukva shali de hamitzvos, that happens to us doing the mitzvos kimi bechinas gavola yochalim shochrak alidei histaklus, because from such a high place you don't have a union, but you have a gazing. So that gazing is the, so to speak, supernal union that affects the lower union and enables it. And that's above this concept of feminine and masculine waters, because it's above the concept of the breaking of the vessels. Malchus and Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to draw this into the land, which is Malchus, and then they would turn again face to face, and then it would last forever, this union through the mitzvos and the Beis Hamikdash, which represents this dwelling of the Shekhinah, so to speak, would never be destroyed.